what makes a singer a good singer, right? You know what I've come to realize is that, like, especially when it comes to singing, that is something that I feel as somebody who wants to be a singer, I find that I saw certain singers better than others, like because of their vocal range. And this past week when I had to audition and I wanted to choose a song, I chose a song that had a good vocal range, and I wanted to choose another singer who didn't have the greatest vocal range, but I didn't choose that singer because I thought I wanted to choose a singer that had a good vocal range. And you know what I realized about that is that it comes from a place of ego. You see, no one singer is better than the other. It is not about singing at all. You know what it is all about? What it all comes down to? The most successful singers aren't always the best vocal range singers. And in terms of, like, I'm speaking on successful in terms of the impact that they make on the people, right? So it comes down to emotions. It comes down to feelings. I was guided to, like, I love Selena Gomez. I love a lot of her songs. And quite frankly, like, my ego kind of hit me about, oh my gosh, like, she isn't the greatest singer. But you know what I've come to realize is that no, it's about emotions, it's about feelings. Like, her voice, her lyrics has the ability to make me feel emotions that other artists cannot, and that other artists, for example, have the ability to, you know, make me feel something that some artists cannot. And so why was I stuck in this place of one singer being better than the other? And this is something, like, and you don't realize how you're continuously learning, and you don't realize how your ego comes into play. And even this past week when I did the audition for singing, to be fair, it was my first time singing in front of, like, people. So but I felt like I sounded like a goat. It's like my voice went all back in, like, it didn't come out well. And then when the judges had to ring the bell when they were done with the singing, and when they rang the bell, I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, I was so happy to leave. But then you know what, I got a call back from them, and then I went to see them, and I'm just like, oh, look, I am surprised I got a call back from you, because I'm just like, I felt like I sounded like a goat. And then I was, like, remembering this song of Taylor Swift about, like, trouble, I knew you were trouble, and then the goat, like, screams, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I was laughing, like, just thinking about that. And then he said to me, well, it's not about, it's about, like, you look different, and you're, like, you have an accent, it's different, like, there's something different, like, about you, and we don't have somebody as different as you. And so he's like, we also, like, they're also a talent agency, and so they have, like, different other things as well. And so he was, like, kind of referring to that, and I really, like, thought about, oh my gosh, like, you know, you, like, it's like unexpected things happen in life, and it makes you realize, oh my gosh, I was in my ego, right? And not by any means, like, I'm not ashamed of, like, that audition, because that was a preparation for me, because you cannot get to a place of becoming, like, a best-selling album, having a best-selling album, until that you start singing, like, outside your room, right? And so it always begins from, like, not, it doesn't like start there. It starts like from the very like beginning, right? And so I'm in the beginning phase of my singing career, and so it was very interesting to me about, you know, the whole thing about like this singing was a huge lesson for me, and although very hilarious because like that goat resonated with me, while also like incredibly hilarious. And I even went to my singing choir practice yesterday, and I was telling like a woman, like, this happened and I sounded like a goat. And they were just having this funny conversation about like goats. And I believe that goat is one of my spirit animal, and goat is incredibly resilient, and so I feel as like I'm incredibly resilient, and so that maybe that's why I find it funny. Goats are also like hilarious and also incredibly resilient. And so am I. But you know, I'm just like sharing this with you because I also believe that I'm supposed to share my journey, which is why I share these things, and hoping that, you know, like, even though we may think that sometimes like, oh my gosh, I've done all the work in the whole world, like I've done a lot of work, but then still there's always going to be something that's going to come up that's going to make you think that, oh, like I hadn't worked through this one. But being okay and gentle about that, and accepting where you are and growing from that, and not shaming yourself. And I find that I no longer shame myself, and I'm able to make like a joke and fun about everything, and while also being honest about talking to the producers. And I'm just like, I sound like a goat, and then, you know, just being myself. So it's okay that we have these ego that sometimes comes up, and we're able to untangle that. We also have to come to acknowledge the limitation of our human mind as well, because, you know, our whole life we are taught that like sky is blue, right? And so it takes a while to understand that maybe sky isn't blue, you know, for example. I'm just saying. So it's a lot of conditioning that we have to do and condition ourselves. So being gentle and kind with yourself while having a sense of humor, and just being open to learning while staying authentic.